Alright peeps, welcome to my channel. Today I will take you with me on a walk close to where I live. So this is my neighborhood. It's one of the things I do just to be mindful, and as well in the past few years I've really been working a lot from home, so it's really important to keep active and to go for walks every now and again and just make sure that you're fit and healthy, not sedentary for too long. So I discovered a bush very close to where I live, which is really cool. I love the bush. So this is one of the beautiful things about Australia. You can have a very built up area and you can have pockets of bush and water and things like that. So it's a Saturday as I'm doing this walk. Usually when I go for a walk I'm listening to a podcast. What topics do I listen to? Usually it's about making money, right? But today I'm making this video. It's a Saturday, so there's a lot of open homes as well in the area today. Not in the area, but generally in Australia, Saturday is the day when they show homes, whether that's homes for renting or if you want to buy a home. So Saturday is the day that you spend doing that, looking at houses. So as you can see, this is my area. It's a good area. This is our little shops. Not too bad. It just has the post office and a very nice takeaway shop and a pharmacy and a dentist. It's really like a growth point. What you'd call a growth point in Zimbabwe. But see how we go. Like I said, it's open house day everywhere. This is quite a busy road. It goes to a bigger shopping center where there is a mall and more shops really, if you wanted to do a bigger shopping. But otherwise, let's walk together. Usually this walk takes me about 30 minutes. And how many steps is that? I don't know, maybe 500 steps. I'm not so sure. I know people want to do 10,000 steps a day. I haven't been able to do that. I think that's a lot of steps, and I think that's like 2 kilometers or so, right? I don't think I'm able to do that. The other thing about Australia is, and especially where I live, is it's very hilly. So there's slopes. Right now I'm actually sort of going uphill, and that takes a toll on you. It's very straining if you're not very fit. I know that I'm not very fit because most of the time I have trouble going up this hill. So it's something that I use to measure my fitness level. I am working up towards going up this hill without getting out of breath, but it's yet to happen. Not yet there, but working towards it. That's a goal. If you want to know about how you can set smart goals that you can actually achieve, please look in the link. I have a link below of my book, Smart Goals for Everyday Life. So I just said I want to be able to walk uphill without getting out of breath. I need to make that a smart goal so that I can achieve it, right? Just saying it's not going to make it happen. I have to be really specific about how I'm going to achieve that. All right. So we can see the bush now. You can see the bush outlook. As you can see, you can also see that there's sort of a slope. So the cars are coming up. You really can't see them from down there because there's a slope downwards. That's what I was saying about the terrain being hilly and sloping. See, we are approaching the bushland, and I've only been walking for like 5 minutes? Yeah, 5 minutes. And I leave some 30 minutes from the city center, that is Sydney City, where Circular Quay and all the city buildings are. So I didn't realize that this place was here for a while, and when I found it I was really excited because I love to be in the bush. Like I said, the good thing about these places is they tell you exactly where you are and what to expect when you walk on your walk, so you hopefully don't have too many surprises. Although let's turned off from the main road now. Let me show you again. There is the road, and we are now in the bush. And usually there is a creek or something in most of the bushes here. You'll find a creek or some flowing water. Okay, so what are they saying here? Now you might be asking yourself, why is it called a wildlife reserve? That's the question I had. And I don't think there's any really interesting wildlife, like kangaroos or four-legged animals per se, but I think they are referring to the birds and, I don't know, the occasional lizard and things like that. Butterflies, I guess. So yeah, but the birds are here for sure. You can hear them singing, and it's a pleasure. Now, as for the water, it's not very clean. I'm not so sure why that is. Maybe it's how creek water should be. I guess I've seen river water and it's not too clean either. So maybe that's an expectation. It's not expected to be clean. But what I've seen is there are days when it's actually cleaner. So when we've just had some rains, the water is usually more dirty. Okay, another thing I want to show you guys is the houses. You see those houses? They're sort of pitching on the edge of, I don't know, the creek. So there's these rocks and the house is sitting just over there. So on the other side of it is that main road I showed you before. So from the main road, these houses just look like, ordinary houses overlooking the road. But their backyard is to this very beautiful bush. I think it's really a privilege to be able to live, you know, in a house like this. So when you look outside, you just see the greenery, and you're still not too far from the city. The breeze is so good. It's really cool in here. It's not necessarily a hot day because we are in winter, but the sun is out. And it's cool in here without being cold. So it's really a pleasant walk. So usually when I go on these walks, it's a very good opportunity for me to think about things. So if I'm working and I feel like I'm not being productive, I just come here and I try to think about something else, or listen to a podcast, listen to music, or just listen to the birds, you know. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but it's actually lovely. The trees are really tall. That's one thing about the trees here as well. Gum trees, they grow very tall. I can't even look up at them without getting dizzy. The rocks, as you can see, that rock is actually quite interesting to look at, isn't it? And of course there's houses as well at the top. I am a little bit out of breath, and we have come to the end. It's not really at the end, but it's a decision point, I guess. You can keep going all the way, and there's a road at the end, or you can take a detour and go this way. So yeah, it's a decision point. There's a playground actually on the other end, so I'm not sure which way I'm gonna go today. Let's see. Okay, maybe let's take the way to the playground. Let's check out the playground and see what's out there. Yeah, so sometimes I've been here and there's been the odd cyclist, especially young boys, you know, they ride pretty fast. You have to be careful, but it's generally very quiet. Like I've been here, I've only seen 2 people so far. Oh, there's someone else. Yeah, but it's generally very quiet. I think for me, it appeals to the village girl in me. Reminds me of home. All right, so off to the playground. And here it is. It's not a big one. It's quite well built though. Places to sit, a few swings. Really a nice place for children to play. And on the next, let's see another map, because this is another entry point, isn't it? Right. So I came from just there, and I'm gonna go back this way. That is through the just in the suburb, really, back into the housing. So I guess you see how easy it is. One moment you are in the suburb, and in a flash you could be in the bush. The houses here are really, I don't know, like the way they're built. I think the foundation has to be some special foundation, because it is rocky, as you can see. And also, there's quite a bit of a slope. So yeah, that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting builds. Okay, so I just met kids with a stall where they're selling lemonade. That's great. Entrepreneurial spirit. Unfortunately, I didn't have coins on me. You see that slope thing I was talking about again? Yeah, this one is really challenging for me. I do get out of breath quite a bit here. Okay, it's only winter, so this tree is obviously not in full bloom. But this is what's the name of the tree? In Bulawayo, if this tree starts to bloom and have purple flowers, and you're writing exams and you haven't studied yet, you would be considered to be really late. So it's good. It's not bloomed yet. This means it's a really warm winter's day. We are almost at the end of July, and the sun is out. It's shining bright. I'm sure people are at the beach today. What am I doing here? Okie dokie. Here we go. What is this? Rubbish collection. Let me tell you a story about what do they call it? Street find. When I first came to Australia, I could not pass by, rubbish on the streets. I had to rummage. I had to find something of value. I just had to. And you know what? I actually did find some things of value. Yeah. But not anymore. I don't have the energy for it anymore. And I guess I've collected enough rubbish in my time. I am actually now also putting things on the street. Surprise, surprise. Hey, sounds like I've gone around and I am back at the main road where we started. Let's see. So there is another side to the bush, which I'll take you next time. So the other side of the bush is not as well prepared. Like it's a real bush. It's not really walking through the bush. There are no paths that are really nicely prepared. But yeah, generally, when I'm in a different mood, I go to the other side. And when I'm in a different mood, I come to this side, depending on how I'm feeling. So, yeah, we're back. This is where we started from. So at the mouth of the wildlife sanctuary yet again. So I basically just went round. I went through the sanctuary and went round. Well, I'm seeing something interesting. So, bin collection day for us is on Thursday. Today is Saturday. And these guys still have their bins outside. Okay, I'm not the mayor of the neighborhood. So, but yeah, it is strange. But I have to be honest. We've had our bins outside for days as well after collection. Guess it depends what's going on. Oh, there's a car with a boat attached. So people here, they do have boats. They go and do all sorts of water activities. So the lucky ones. There's someone else with bins outside still. Interesting. And just to explain, we have 3 bins. So we have the green bin where you put all your food scraps and all organic matter. We have the red top bin where you put everything else. I'll show you when we get to my house. Then we have, but yes, so we have the yellow bin, which is for recycling. Then the green bin, like I said, organic matter, everything that comes from the kitchen and everything that comes from, you know, the plants. So you prune your hedge, that's the green bin. And then everything else goes into the red bin. So your plastics and all that goes into your red bin. Very, very nicely done. It's not difficult. Of course, it's hard sometimes to, you know, especially if you have kids, you know, they get it all mixed up. But generally, it's easy like that. It's not hard at all. So this is our bins. As you can see, red, green, and yellow. And of course, we also have this here, which is your bottles, which you can actually take to a place called Return and Earn and get 10 cents each bottle. In that way, you know, you can make a little bit of money for each bottle that you have used. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's tour. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.